Hello and welcome back to another Den Den Boys video. My name is Garth, I am one half of the Den Den Boys. And in today's video, I thought I'd do a quick little early impressions of the new PS5 multi-platform game. I'm playing PS5, of the Elden Ring, the new game from Software, the legendary developers that started out on the PS1 and came to fame with the Souls series, so Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and later on Sekiro and Bloodborne as well. What you're going to see in the video is some of my early impressions in my 50 plus hours that I've started playing. What you can expect in terms of gameplay. It's been described as Dark Souls meets Zelda Breath of the Wild in a lot of reviews. And I'm just going to give you a bit of an idea of if it actually meets that description, which is a pretty good description right there, but does it meet that? And then as a Dark Souls fan or a Souls fan, give you impressions of what's new in the game. And obviously by the end, whether it's for you. I'm sure you're seeing lots of reviews out there at the moment, but hopefully I can add something to that and I can just give you some impressions of what it plays like and whether it's for you at the end of the day. That's what you're here for, right? So, like I said, Zelda meets Dark Souls. Let's get into the gameplay. Look, don't be fooled with the Zelda comparison. It is 100% a Souls game. The combat, the look of the game, the sort of gothic nature, the HUDs, the weapons, everything about this is 100% Dark Souls. So straight off the bat, as a Souls fan, I'm in heaven. The Zelda comparison comes in terms of the world map. So it is an absolutely gorgeous, massive world map, which from the very beginning, mostly is accessible. You come out of the first bonfire, which they call Sites of Grace now, and you're literally allowed to go wherever you want, which is exactly what I did. There obviously is a set path, and some of the Sites of Grace have a little bit of on the map, have a little bit of a line sort of guiding you where you should be going. But for the most part, you can just go wherever you want. There obviously are set bosses, but there are, in each area, dozens of sub-bosses and enemies to find and places to find. So that's where the Zelda comparison comes in. And also there's a lot of item foraging and scavenging around the world. So the new feature, which we'll probably get into later and touch on more, is that you use those items to then craft, which you've never been able to do before. So that's a really cool factor, and obviously where the Zelda tie-in comes in. So that's how it plays. Let's talk about quickly in this video some of the new features. So a couple of new features that they've got in there that weren't in the old series before. The first one is stealth. So by holding down the L3 button, you're actually able to sneak up on enemies, backstab, get the first shot in, all that kind of stuff as you'd expect with a stealth mechanic. But the cool thing is too, you're actually able to use the stealth to just sneak past enemies. So whereas the old Souls games mostly had you fight everything in your path, with a few exceptions you could sneak past. This one allows you to just say, that's too hectic, I don't think I can beat that, I'm just going to sneak past it. You can pick up items, you can get to new areas by just using the stealth to just not take them on. And enemies won't notice you. It's a really, really cool mechanic. So that's one new thing. Another new thing is the jump mechanic. So there's a dedicated jump button, which has never really been in the series before. And obviously two factors that they've improved it because it's part of the combat now. You can use a jump and heavy attack to break defenses on some enemies. The other thing is that it's part of the world map. You can't have this massive world map with all these rock features and high and low points in the map, verticality and all that stuff without a jump button. So clearly it's just to help you get around the map as well. Third big thing, and because of the world map and maybe where the Zelda tie-in comes in as well, is your horse companion. Simple summoning, you get it early in the game and you can just jump on your horse and ride as far as you want in the map. It has a double jump feature which allows you to get some places you can't with a normal jump. And then there's also, it's handy in parts of combat too. So if there's really big enemies that are quite cumbersome and big and large and slow, to be on your horseback, you can actually use that horse. And I found with one of the enemies, he was really slow and he was really pounding me on without the horse. But with the horse, I was able to ride around him, fight while I was riding the horse, and just circle the enemy, and he wasn't able to get a hit on me because I was too fast. So the horse plays its part in combat as well as exploration as well. It's a really cool feature. The other thing they've added to the game is what's they called Statues of Marika, which is a sub-save point on top of your sites of grace, which are bonfires. They've been replaced by the bonfires. And the advantage of this is, and it's a great feature, is that normally the bonfires would be your starting point, your resting point, your save point, and from there you'd go off to fight the boss. In the new game, in Elden Ring, they've actually added these Statues of Marika, so that when you die, you actually have a choice of going back to the bonfire or to one of the statues. Doesn't sound like much, but the thing is, with the Statues of Marika, they've actually put them normally pretty close to a boss fight. So that means that for those players who maybe got turned off by loading at a bonfire and having to fight their way to a boss over and over and over again, now you load yourself up at the Statues of Marika and just jump straight into the boss fight. And so it has that one more go kind of feature where you didn't have in the previous Dark Souls game, and it wore people down. You just jump in and keep going at the boss. So the Statues of Marika are very, very cool. Obviously, we talked about it before, but the new feature is obviously it's open world. It's not linear like the other Souls games were. And just being able to go wherever you want, which is a big factor, because you might fight a boss or fight an area where you're like, I'm getting reamed, I'm getting caned, this is too hard. But in other Souls games, you just had to stick your head, keep going until you bash down the brick wall. Now you can say, well, I don't like this area. I think I'm going to go off and explore somewhere else, level up, find other sub-bosses, find other items, weapons, spells, things like that, and then come back to that bit that was struggling, and you might actually find you beat it later on in the game. So the idea of like having this open world that you can just go wherever you want is a massive factor, and it might make it more appealing to people who maybe weren't such big fans of the Souls series and that linear gameplay. That's a few of the new features. Let's talk about what is great and what's absolutely amazing about it. Obviously, the open world is amazing. The biggest thing that I'm finding in my 50 plus hours is the online play is perfect so far. In the old Souls games, it was very hard to get your friends to jump in. You know, finding summon signs were kind of hard, and you had to wear like different rings the same as your partner, all that sort of stuff. It was very convoluted and very hard to work out. The new system's super easy. Still have to lay your summon sign down, but you can put it anywhere. You have a group password so that you just find each other's signs, and it's seamless. You can put them down anywhere and play online. I'm absolutely loving playing the game with my friends. I've probably split 50-50 between the two modes, single player and online, and I'm loving the online. We go off and explore on our own and find things, then we come back together and we help each other beat those sections. It's just so much fun with the headsets on, and just blasting through bosses and finding new areas. It's been so much fun, and it's a big change for the Souls series, because it's always been a very lonely kind of series that didn't have any sort of chatter online. It was just summons, yeah, but they were there to help you and then they were gone. You can spend hours playing with your friends, just jumping in and out of each other's worlds. It's absolutely fantastic. So if you've never played the Souls series before, or you've been turned off by the Souls series or because it was too hard, it is still very, very hard. But I think the online system will help alleviate that a little bit, because playing with your friends, A, it's fun, and B, if they're Souls fans, they've got the experience, they've got the knowledge, they can guide you through the game and make it much more accessible for you to play. So it might be a factor in whether you want to play the game. So, after all that, is it the game of the year? Is it the best game of all time? Should you go and play it? Tricky one. As a Souls fan, I'm absolutely loving this game. It is everything I want in a Souls game and more. It's brutal hard. It's bigger than it's ever been before. There's so much to do. The gameplay is perfect. All the systems are perfect. The item crafting, which is a new feature, rather than having to buy and craft stuff like Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's amazing. If you're a Souls fan, you're absolutely going to love it. If you're not a Souls fan, or you've dabbled in it before, is this for you? I think this is your best chance. I think this is your best chance to really find out what all the fuss is about. A, you can play with your friends online, B, it's way more accessible than ever was because, like I said before, you don't have to beat your head against a brick wall and fight the same boss over and over again. You can explore the world and go off and do other things if you're getting beaten. And also you can find those statues of Marika and just keep going against the boss, and that might be more accessible for you. So would I recommend it? 100%. It's going to be probably the game of the year, I think. So you absolutely should play it. Will it still be for everyone? No, I don't think so. I think there's going to be people that still play the game and find it too hard, or the setting doesn't really get them going, and it's too convoluted, doesn't really hold your hand and give you anything, so it might not be for everyone. But I, 10 out of 10, 100% think you should play it and give it a go anyway. So there you go. That was my early impressions of the Elden Ring, From Software's Elden Ring. It's fantastic. I'm loving it. And like I said, I'm only 50 hours in. I'm still on this first area, and I'm exploring every nook and cranny of the map. So this is going to be a game I play all year. So in terms of the video, thanks again for watching. Hope that helped. Hope that gave you a bit of information you might not have had before. If you're liking what we're doing again, like, share, comment, do all that great YouTube stuff. And hopefully we'll see you very soon for another Den Boys video. And in the meantime, I'm going back to this bad boy. Peace.